This video is a little bit crazy. I got the inspiration to make this video. I actually really enjoy this woman's content. Let me pull her up. I really enjoy, the self-defense girl. The credit will be on screen, of course, because I'm going to show the clip. Actually, before we even talk, let me say this. Welcome back, ladies and gents, to another video. Thank you for tuning into the frequency. And I just want to say, be authentic, take care of yourself, love yourself, take care of those closest around you, and spread positivity. Anyways, this clip right here comes from the self-defense girl. I really do like her content. And I do like a comment that you'll also see on this post that says, it looks like, well, they said inside job. That home didn't look like they could even afford $100,000 worth of jewelry. These people know the family. I feel like with a lot of break-in cases and things like that, the people are scouted first. Again, recently an event that I had happen to me, my mom said she has not even been through something like that in her 40 years of life. And I like to talk about caution. Someone even said this too. I'm overly cautious with this. I was expecting a delivery once from a FedEx driver, but they weren't in the normal FedEx stuff. So I didn't open the door, but he insisted. You'll see the comment. But essentially just what I want to say is, I probably will say after the clip. So let's just show the clip. Shout out to the self-defense girl. This is her clip. And that's pretty much it. And a little bit of a warning, it's a little bit intense. She also goes to show some other stuff that I want to talk about, and I want to talk about my whole perspective on this whole thing. Oh wow, I didn't even realize when I recorded this clip it was at 15k likes, but 15,555. What a synchronicity. Anyways, let's get into it. Much love, Moonlight.
This is your daily reminder to never open the door for a stranger.
The first suspect approached this Brooklyn home dressed as a FedEx driver, forcing his way in as another man scrambles up the stairs. Inside, with one suspect claiming he's a cop, an elderly couple and their daughter are tied up. The top floor ransacked of more than $100,000 in cash and jewelry. The security camera shows one man trying to force the young woman to open a safe. The entire family bound and terrified.
Posing as delivery drivers is one of the most common tactics for a home invasion. So here are some extra safety precautions you can take. 1, always track your packages. 2, if you are expecting a package, make sure you know whether or not you need to sign for it. Most packages you don't need to sign for. 3, ask the delivery driver to just leave it at your door. Most of them do and prefer that anyways. If someone is being pushy for you to answer the door, do not do it. In a case just last week, this man broke into a house in Minnesota dressed as a UPS worker. When the family opened the door, he held them up, robbed them, and then shot them point blank. Please be safe out there because you never know who someone could be. And don't answer your doors.
If you guys have been watching me for a while, you definitely know that I follow, at least for my own life, I apply and follow the law of attraction. I do feel like certain events that happen in your life are sometimes out of your control, but I feel like everything happens for a reason. I feel like certain break-ins and certain security breaches happen to almost like a virus in the body. They're testing your internal defenses to then level you up. And I feel like moments like this may happen in your life to remind you of just the caution that you are in a very dense reality where there is a lot of lower vibrational things that happen, like break-ins and, attacks on your being while you are here. So it's always important to remain cautious, but not live in a fear mindset, because you attract. If you live in a fear mind state, you will attract a lot of things like this to happen to you. That's why it's important to stay very confident, but very cautious and not live in a fear mindset. And I want to point that out and leave that out because I've seen people live in fear and I've seen what it does to them. And I've also been a person who lives like that and has attracted certain events. And then I'm over here asking, why is this pain happening to me? But now I've definitely learned. And so anyways, I like the self-defense girls content, but again, I would love to remind you to always remain confident and just conscientious of your surroundings and situational awareness. I could preach that all day, and the importance of just remaining cautious but not living in fear. So sometimes these posts can have people live in fear, and I feel like we need more context for clips that are shared like this. But she showed a dude who actually knocked on the door to a family posing as something, and then he ended up game ending the family, as you heard. And I just want to say, yes, be very cautious, and arm yourself. But I wanted to use this video because a situation happened to me recently. I don't want to bring too much attention to it and talk about it again, but we had something happen where my roommate ended up screaming and I had to end up chasing some people. And ultimately after that, that was it. But pretty much, I just want to say that remember to really look out for your neighbors and stuff. We need a level of unity coming back, because if criminals know that communities stick a little bit more together, that will be a natural deterrent. I actually talked with a police chief who's running this area now, who actually teaches some of the things that I was already naturally doing, because I feel like it's, well, natural to my being, but it's naturally in all of us to actually be people who interact and you know, connect with each other. I think that's what the human experience is about. You can live solo and, you know, live your little quiet life. It's okay. But, you know, when it comes to certain situations here and there in certain circumstances, you're going to need to interact with people. And I feel one of the most powerful things in communities that do have apartments or do have suburbs is for you to get to know your neighbors, not be completely nosy, but look out for one another. Look out for, you know, suspicious people who may come into the area, but within reason, and really just look out, you know. And I've grown up around this sort of mindset. You know, I remember when I was a kid, freaked out because I thought my grandma was gone or something like that. And I yelled over to this bar across the street that knew my grandma, and they ended up, you know, calling like, you know, the cops and everything, and they ended up coming, and it ended up being that she was just like asleep in the other room. But she had let me, like, I think fall asleep in the living room or something, and it was pitch black, and I woke up in the dark and I thought she was just gone and like missing. And I remember running out even into the hallway of the apartment complex because I just thought she was gone. And I think there's more to that story, but it was just so crazy. And I remember just calling to, the bar across the street, and they know my grandma, and that's just the whole thing. Is just like this sort of sense of community and just people knowing each other and looking out and immediately coming to your aid, you know. And I don't know what got into young me, but nowadays I still remember that level of caution and just that camaraderie that comes with your neighbors. You know, I feel like I've always felt that growing up for the people I've grown around. It's just like feeling this sort of sense of, you know, bringing that back. Nowadays, things feel so divided, but I want to bring all this to basically say that I feel like lots of situations like this will be knocked down more if people show up together as a force. An individual person can come and show up as a really powerful being with a huge aura and be like, yo, that person is dangerous. But now imagine like-minded individuals all together standing up for, you know, wanting to reduce criminal activity in their area and stuff. That becomes a much dangerous environment for criminals and a much dangerous force. Like when the thing that happened with my roommate here happened, I ended up going around like telling people to, you know, be on the lookout, and people thanking me and being like, yeah, I got you. Like, thank you for making me aware of this. And now I've got people in my whole, like, basically like neighborhood looking out. And it's not even about being a snitch, not about being scared. It's about putting that energy, that aura out, taking it in your own hands to raise up, man, because I headed first in the battle. That could be bravery, it could be stupidity. You know, naturally, I'm not really a confrontational person, but I felt like I needed to do that. It just felt in my power, and I felt protected. And now, you know, it feels like my area is a lot more safer. You know, I even had the property manager take matters in their own hands. And I feel like, you know, a lot of things like this could be could be avoided if we have people looking out for each other. Now, on the whole delivery aspect of things, definitely. There's probably nothing more that I could say that'll just be repeating what the self-defense girl said, but always look out for yourself. You know, cameras and ring cams are not enough. I definitely feel like there should be some Second Amendment things that I have now thought about getting, but Second Amendment things you should take advantage of. And definitely get to know your neighbors. Don't get too crazy on a personal level where they got to be in your house and all that, because you never know. Because remember how somebody said that this is an inside job. You never know who's who, but, you know, bring it to people's attention. Hey, we should look out for each other. You know, raise awareness. That's mostly what it's about. What I was doing in my own personal life was about raising awareness. I wanted to raise awareness that, look, people are targeting cars in the area. Look out, be safe, blah, blah, blah. And that's a lot of people thanked me for that. And that's what you should do. And even to people, because I don't speak Spanish, so I was even putting it in Spanish in Google Translate to just look out for each other and just, you know, be aware, be on the lookout, just look, you know, just casually watch. And that that deters criminals a lot. And it's just, bro, we just don't want people, find a new way, man. You know, I want to make sure I'm leaving an impact on Earth as long as I'm here. And I feel like all this, you know, safety rules and stuff, we'll need them, but a lot of this stuff can get diminished or broken down if we really do stick together a lot more. And yeah, so going back to the video in which she said, yeah, you know, always pay attention to who knocks on your door and things like that. Never open it. That's like the first thing that I was taught. Never answer the door for any strangers. Because, you know, I was left home alone a lot when I was younger. So that was immediately one of the first things. Don't answer the door for anyone that you don't know, anyone that you don't recognize. Blah, blah, blah is on call right here. They'll be at their door in a sec. They'll be at your door in a second if you need any help. And that's it. Take care of yourself. Boop. You know, freaking 13, 14, home alone. It's kind of like, I've got my home alone story. So yeah, dude. It's just like, I feel like common sense stuff that can be taught. You don't have to be overly cautious or anything like that, you know. And mostly what I want to say to look out for, kind of what this other person said, is people are sensible. People who are not trying to create any problems or anything are sensible. And one thing, I think that delivery drivers should change their whole motto. I know for certain things that I've ordered to the house, I know that certain things I've ordered to the house, whether it be a computer screen or something along that, they needed like a signature or me to open the door, which is, you know, again, immediately, you know, immediately have them identify themselves, you know, yell to the door, be like, you know, you could just leave the package and things like that. But because, you know, I'm a little bit confident in my reality, like I said, law of attraction, you know, I haven't really had problems with the doors, but, you know, I know my neighbors that below us had some weird, sketchy looking dude show up at the door once, and they came immediately upstairs to us. They felt comfortable enough to, and said, yo, like, this was weird, blah, blah, blah. And we immediately, you know, aided them the best way we could. And nothing has literally happened since that moment. But yeah, man, I just really feel like it's like bring that aura with you. But back to what I was saying about the door is, yeah, if that's true what the comment said on the video, that you could just have them leave it at the door. Yeah, like just, you know, literally if you tell someone like, look, hey, I'll be safer if you leave the package and I could just open it and like you could just sign for me, do that. And I say reasonably, anybody would do that for you. Like, hey, you have my permission. You could sign the package and leave it at the door. If they have a problem with that, bro, tell them to leave it at the mail place. You'll go pick it up later. Do not risk your life for open door, you know, home invasion type of things. Because not everyone wants to carry a Second Amendment. Not everyone wants to be like that. But take the first precaution you can. And again, like I said, most people are there to just do their job. And I highly doubt that if someone's just nervous about opening a door or just being cautious, doesn't have to be nerves, that somebody will fight you on wanting you to get your door open. I'm going to say 9 times out of 10, a criminal is definitely going to want to fight you because they want access. So they're going to try all their slick things to get you to open the door. No. Tell them, I'll go and pick it up from the mailroom later and you can take it there, or just leave it and then report later to have, maybe even do that. Like, dude, take a jump, man. I feel like reality is a game. So take a jump, man. Even call the mail place and say, hey, look, I had a fake deliverer try to deliver some stuff. Be on the lookout. Or just, you know, I feel like higher awareness is always the thing to change problems or enforce a higher, like making like criminals more nervous or find a way to do things is always raising the awareness of those around you. So definitely, you know, that's what I would do. I would throw a call to like UPS or FedEx saying like, yo, people are impersonating y'all. Not that they couldn't do anything. More the cops would be that, but at least you're raising awareness. You're spreading it around. I think those are the best things to catch fire or catch, you know, wind, or for people to catch wind of. But yeah, essentially that would be my first thing. Exactly what that comment said. Definitely tell them, leave the package at the door. You can sign for me. If they don't do that, immediately go into a mode of like protecting yourself 100%. Do not take any chances in this world. Don't take chances. Don't live in fear, but don't take chances. And again, When watching videos like the self-defense girl and everything, do not binge content like this. This isn't against her, but don't binge too much content like this, because don't mess up your frequency. Still stay in a positive mindset that, just having the caution that, these things happen to people. You never know when it might be you, may never be. Just like my mom said, something, crazy stuff like this didn't happen to her. But again, always just remember to stay cautious, stay safe, and don't look like a target. When it comes to an inside job, see, that's a little bit deeper. But yeah, man, be a presence, be strong, raise the awareness around in the public eye for y'all. And I feel like that deters criminals a lot. Anyways, stay safe out there. Be in unity. Much love and Moonlight. And I'm out of here. Peace.